It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. And our coverage tonight will be coming to you from Detroit, where the Pistons will be going up against the Houston Rockets. For the Rockets, they come in off a win in their last game against the Warriors. A tough overtime victory. They're hoping that they can find a way to win this one in regulation. And the Detroit Pistons, a solid defensive team, but their lackluster offense has held them back. What do they need to improve there, Kenny?
I think they just need some more outside shooting. Spread the floor, give their guys some driving lanes. You got a true center in Andre Drummond, so he needs some space because he's a space eater.
And, their best player is more of a defensive player. They need a few more shot creators as well.
That'll do it. Both teams ready for tip. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Rockets are out of Houston and into an interconference game. Welcome to what should be a great Saturday night for the NBA. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge is joining us from the sideline. Right now, the Pistons are back in town for just one game and looking to play well for their home fans. Looking at the first half of the season, it's been one they've been very proud of. They have a lot of confidence so far.
And making it look easy. I mean, a terrific run. And who knows, this may just be the tip of the iceberg. They could have a lot more wins in store before it's all said and done.
I wouldn't be surprised at all given the way they are playing. Team basketball at its finest.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, Stan Van Gundy has coached the likes of Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal, and Dwight Howard. But he said, as a rebounder, Andre Drummond is as good as anybody, if not the best that I've ever been around. He just goes out and gets the ball. Drummond said it's just a will. The will to get the ball most people won't jump for. I just put myself out there. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A. And Drummond is just a hulk of a man. He's really the backbone of this team. And these teams have both been stacking up wins lately. On a collision course tonight should be a ball.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this. I've marked this on our schedule, Kevin. And I want to see these two teams go at it. This is what you love, great matchups. And these matchups are the kind you remember long after the game is over.
And they're playing with confidence, aren't they, Steve? That's always evident.
If you have confidence, you have a chance.
Tip-off goes to Houston. Here's the starting group for Houston. Anderson is down low with Capella. The two pillars of this team, Chris Paul and Harden, are the 1 and the 2. And it's Ariza in at the 3. Now here's Jackson, following the shot by Chris Paul. Jackson kicks to Johnson. He feeds it to Drummond. Pistons passing it around. Jackson dishes to Johnson. Ariza outside. Harden outside. That 3 off the mark. Detroit with the ball. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And sometimes in that hostile environment, it is hard to stay true to who you are. But give them credit, they did, especially on offense.
Well, they came in with a strong game plan, made adjustments when they needed to, and kept the crowd out of their heads. 3 straight misses to begin this contest, and already starting to look frustrated.
Johnson kicks to Jackson. Drummond a screen. Shoots off the screen. That one wide left.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line. And that sends Reggie Jackson to the free throw line. Chris Paul picks up that one. And Reggie Jackson, the Boston College Eagle, when he is on the floor, you can see how he acts as a spark plug for his team. Steve, a very creative player whose big strength is getting things going on offense.
And wherever Reggie's been, he's been great in that role of catalyst. When he's injured, you can see how the offense changes. Very underrated as a playmaker in this league.
And when you look at what the Pistons have done, pretty clear this is a team that has a vision of who they want to be. Strong defensively, really good at rebounding the basketball, and I think deliberate and patient on the offensive side of the floor.
Now, here's Capella. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game.
And with Harden, it's pick your poison. Not only a tenacious penetrator, but also a consistent threat from three-point.
And here is Drummond. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Kennard, the pass to Griffin. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. And with the Pistons, this has been the identity the team has been aiming for under Stan Van Gundy. It's taken shape, but has yet, Greg, to produce big results.
I think it's because they've just always been 1 or 2 pieces short of making that next jump. I think the conference has gotten stronger, and while their best players are really good, I don't think they're quite at that elite level yet to allow this group to take that next step.
Rockets have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Capella with a screen on Jackson. Paul dishes to Harden. Screen by Capella. Shot clock at 5. Here's Paul. Steps back and drains the jump shot.
Well, he's so efficient with the mid-range jumper. Few point guards have done it as well as Chris Paul.
Jackson kicks to Johnson. Passes it to Griffin. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Straight power, homie. I mean, he ripped it down with both hands.
Absolutely a resounding dunk. The Rockets have gone 2 of 6 from the field. Paul passes to Harden. Ariza outside. Screen by Capella. Ariza kicks to Anderson. Capella inside, defended by Drummond. He was all alone on that one. Anderson's got his first points of the game. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Jackson kicks to Johnson. Outside Griffin. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
That's how you play the game. Draw 2 defenders, kick it out to the wide open man for a bucket.
And Stanley Johnson, the youngster out of Arizona, grew up in Los Angeles where he was the high school player of the year. You know, Steve, he hasn't had the easiest time adjusting to the NBA, but he certainly has room to improve, and right now the offense just isn't there for him.
You know, the question is, people are saying, is time ticking away for Stanley to prove that he's a rotation player? He's kind of predictable on offense. People pushes him to go right because he only goes right. Just hasn't developed the way the team was hoping for.
Rockets trail by 3. Screen by Capella. Harden kicks to Ariza. No good with the triple. Pistons have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Drummond dishes to Johnson. Off target with his 3.
Oh, you can tell he's frustrated to get that good of a look from 3, and he didn't make it.
Here's Harden. Good on the 13-footer. Harden's got 5.
And I love seeing Harden get room to shoot from that mid-range position, an effective scorer in that area.
Here's Kennard. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Philadelphia. Jackson, that's good. Jackson's got his second basket of the night.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
It's Ariza on the wing. Paul outside. Capella sets a screen for Paul. Lob pass to Capella. Just 5 to shoot. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Rockets.
And no doubt they relied upon that three-point shot to provide a big chunk of their scoring. That's been a trend in the modern NBA, and they took that philosophy and ran with it.
And Detroit has possession. 3-point lead. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Rockets team.
Yeah, interconference matchup. Two teams that'll see each other only twice on the schedule.
It's always interesting. You're not exactly sure what you're going to get, but it'll be fun to see how it plays out.
Griffin's shot is good.
Blake has a lot of different moves inside the paint, and you can see right there that was a nice finish by Blake.
Rockets trail by 5. Anderson the screen. Ariza outside. Jackson against Paul. Over Jackson. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Unfortunately for him, the defense is slow to react, but he couldn't make them pay.
That shot by Griffin, no good.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
And it's sent back by Drummond. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. So for the Pistons, Langston Galloway's checked in for Kennard. And Smith subbed in for Reggie Jackson. And a switch here also for Houston. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. Pistons leading by 5. Smith with it. 8 points his last outing. Griffin inside, working on Anderson. Johnson kicks to Galloway. Clock at 6. Got a hand on it. Harden outside. Paul, no one around him. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Paul's got 5 now.
Boy, Chris Paul has been a top-notch perimeter shooter. His form is just perfect.
Johnson kicks to Griffin. Stolen by Anderson. Shot, high post. Rebound by the Pistons. Drummond's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Griffin. Kicks it out to Johnson. Here's Galloway. 9 points last game. Now the dish to Smith. Griffin a screen on Paul. And it's Smith penetrating. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's on Nene.
You know, last season was a strong one for Ish Smith. He filled in as a starter, and he came off the bench. More of a scoring point guard, but he did a nice job of setting the table for everybody.
The Pistons shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. The free throw drops for Smith. And with Ish Smith, he filled in for Reggie Jackson a lot as a starter last season, and he was terrific. He showed that he can be effective in whatever role you need him. Stan Van Gundy had high praise for him.
Yeah, and what I like about him is that he'll give you production if you play him 5 minutes or 30 minutes. Never loses focus or disappears in a game.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
You know, the way he plays the game, he's always in attack. This is the one area I think he definitely has to improve on in his career. Ish Smith is knocking down free throws.
That ties it up. Gordon's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Here's Ennis. Green with the rebound.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And Detroit gets called for the foul. And Mbappe, the former UCLA Bruin, has made a name for himself with his play on the defensive end. He can match up well, Steve, with a number of positions and always does a good job.
He does. Luke Bahamute doesn't get a ton of points, but he's always on the floor for his defense. Will always have a place and a rotation with how he plays D.
Shooting 2.
the free throw is good, now leading by 1. Well, the NBA we know has incredible competition, and more times than not, it's more serious than anything else, and you're so locked in. But Steve, right, there are moments of levity that everybody can kind of laugh at, correct?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think the one thing is having a teammate go to their free throw line, shooting an air ball, and him glancing over at the bench, and, you know, nobody wants to laugh at times. But depending on the game, you just bust out laughing, and then he goes up there and shoots it really hard to make sure he doesn't have an air ball. And then the one when you're passing the basketball and the teammate is not looking and you catch him right in the choppers. That's the one everybody laughs about the most.
How about you personally? Any moment that either you were laughing or people were laughing at something that happened to you on the floor?
You know, I had this one, we call it a flat tire, Kevin. I was led. Teammate Brevin and I threw it out, and I couldn't stop, and my legs wobbled. I fell, I caught it, and went out of bounds. That's the one I think for me was the funniest. It just wasn't funny when it happened.
Here's Gordon after the basket by Detroit.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You can see he's frustrated with that one. Knows it's up to him to make that play.
Now here's Green. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. For Detroit, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field to this point. Smith the pass to Galloway. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Galloway has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Gordon kicks to Johnson. Nene, the screen. Shot off the pick. Detroit with the rebound.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
Smith on the wing, defended by Gordon. Back to Lure. Rocket 6. Here's Ennis. Gets that one to fall after missing his first 2. 1 for 3 from the field. Rockets trail by 5. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Gordon a screen. Taken away. Here's Galloway, guarded by Green. Galloway kicks to Lure. Got a piece of it. An even 3-on-3 break. Here's Green, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Shooting at a high percentage. All teams aim to do that. Let's see the league's best. 5th on the list, the Pistons.
So patient on the offensive end. I mean, they're not going to force shots, and it's that selectiveness that's yielded such an impressive field goal percentage.
Gentlemen, group shots. Group shots.
That's good from Green.
And when you watch this Rockets team, you can see just how explosive they are on the offensive end. Almost everyone on the floor can hurt you from deep, and they all know their role and execute it to a T.
He's off on the second. And last season, the Rockets offense was incredible. Then they go and add Chris Paul.
They can run a team off the floor if they get hot. 2 great playmakers in Paul and Harden. And making a move for Paul made a lot of teams fear what the Rockets can do now on offense. And it was the screen there, guys, that freed him up as he ran his man into it.
And then it was all acceleration, GA, to the bucket right after that.
That was just a textbook pick that allowed him room, and he took advantage of it.
Lure can't hit.
And they have a narrow edge here in rebounding early on, and you wonder what kind of a role that's going to play moving forward.
And the wide open shot from Green. It's good from long range. Green's got 6. The Pistons trail it. 1:02 left to play here in the first. The feed now to Tolliver. Lets it go from deep. Unable to get that one. The Rockets go the other way with it. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
And boy, did that game nearly get away from them, but they were a little bit fortunate to have survived at the end of regulation.
They were extremely lucky. I think they took their opponent for granted a little, and it nearly cost them.
Now here's Green. 6 points for him, and another 3 for Houston.
I'll tell you, even though he's a question mark from range, you still have to defend him.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Pistons passing it around. Ennis dishes to Smith. Pass to Tolliver. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Tolliver's got his second basket.
And that's a good pass by Ish Smith. When he's in there, he does a great job of steering the drink for this offense.
And here is Green. Nene, the screen. And here's Gordon from outside.
And yeah, he's undersized Smith, but boy, he plays hard on defense.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Rockets lead by 2. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And earlier, Chris Paul told us about the depth of their roster. So important for any team.
Our bench is amazing. It's so exciting because when our bench comes in, more often than not, if we're losing, they're going to get us the lead. And if we have the lead, they're going to increase the lead. And it's fun to watch because everybody cheers for each other, too.
When your starters feel that good about their second unit guys, that's a heck of a asset that a team can have. And if you've seen Chris Paul cheering from the bench, you know that it's very, very true.
And Kevin, that's the kind of team that's always been so much fun to play on. Everybody's really pulling for one another, no matter who's playing. Even in practice, with that kind of a team, you tend to have more fun.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from Houston, what do you guys think?
They've gotten that perimeter game going in that first, and for me, that was the difference.
Hot right out of the gate, generating some early confidence and building on that lead.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Taking a look at the Rockets. Luke Mbamute out there with Johnson. Then there's Nene. And it's Green, and it's Gordon in at the 1. And the 3 ball is good. And Mbamute has got 8 points.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
There's Galloway, and it's Lure, top of the key. Back to Galloway. Green with the rebound. Green's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Nene, the pass to Gordon. A second chance effort, and Nene with the lay-in, good. And now it's a 3-point Houston lead.
Look at the intensity of Nene, one of the strongest guys in the game, phenomenal at scoring the ball inside.
Smith kicks to Ennis. Back to Smith. They set the pick. To the wing on the left. Lure dishes to Galloway. 4 on the shot clock. Lure can't hit.
Nice move inside. Has the defender beat. Just fails to finish.
Gordon kicks to Green. Screen by Mbamute. Here's Gordon. Excellent defense there from Smith.
And on some plays, everything goes your way except for the finish.
To the paint. Here's Ennis. Over to the wing. Kicks it to Galloway. And there's the pass to Tolliver. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. He has 6.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Green kicks to Gordon. Johnson the screen. It's taken away by Smith. And here comes Smith leading the fast break. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Galloway. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead.
You know what, I'll tell you, he's got nothing here in the second quarter after just one made shot in the first.
Screen by Baamute. Back to Gordon. Nene with the screen on Smith. 5 to shoot. The drive by Gordon. And they double up Gordon.
Jump ball. You two.
And so it's Houston with it. Clock is at 3. The 3 from Johnson. The Rockets with another miss. The Pistons have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Galloway kicks to Smith. And Lure wide open. He shoots it. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Lure's got 5 points in the quarter.
Taking what the defense offers up, Smith with good vision there finds the open man.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. And as we get into the meat of the NBA season, wear and tear starting to factor in for rotation players. Just how hard can playing 36 minutes a night, every game be in a body?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of wear and tear, and a lot of times you get a chance to see it at the end of the season in the playoffs. So if you can keep some of these star players and all players around 36, 35, 34, and then let them play a little bit longer in playoffs, that's what you're trying to do as a coaching staff.
I'm looking back here. You played almost 40 minutes a game back in the late 90s. Wow.
That's why I'm sitting here right next to you right now, Kevin.
Yeah, that's right. For Detroit, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Johnson, the pass to Griffin. The shot's good on the assist by Johnson. Griffin's got the lead up to 5 now for the Pistons.
Yes, it goes. He has expanded his range. Blake Griffin now is one of those players you at least got to come out and contest him when he's at the line.
And the dunk by Capella.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down. It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleashed chaos moment. Now here's Johnson. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the 76ers in Philadelphia. Griffin passes to Kennard. And he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
And the bad boy Pistons, perhaps the greatest group this franchise has put together, and also one of the most memorable in the history of the NBA. Smitty, you played against some of those guys. What was that like?
Well, first of all, Kevin, I got a chance to grow up in Detroit, watching these guys, being around them, being able to practice. I mean, they were a total tight group. They had some great characters in Lambeer and Rodman and Sally and Dumars and Isaiah and the microwave, but they played extremely hard, and obviously the style of play was defense, rebound, and put you on your butt.
Now here's Paul. He's got 5. Left side Ariza goes up the baseline. Good on the shot.
No hesitation from Chris Paul, getting the basketball to the open man quickly.
Pistons leading by 3. Jackson dishes to Griffin. Here's Kennard, guarded by Harden. There's Jackson with the 3. Good on the three-point shot. Jackson's got 8 points. Houston's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Screen by Capella. Harden outside. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. 8 points for James Harden.
And that's from beyond, guys, right back at you.
This is looking more like an all-star game right now. Everyone launching from range.
Now here's Griffin. 23 points for him the last game against Philadelphia.
And he also controlled the backboard as well. I mean, he really did a terrific job.
And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. And it's Ariza in the corner. Anderson outside. Houston moving the ball around. Ball against Jackson. Releases from 15. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Pistons leading by 3. Griffin attack.
Griffin is just fearless. I mean, a guy who is not scared of anything. That was ridiculous.
Rockets have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Paul kicks to Capella. There's a screen on the wing, Harden. And he uses the glass on the layup. 10 points for him.
He's just one of those guys who just knows how to generate offense regardless of the situation.
Johnson outside. Drummond a screen. Johnson the pass to Drummond. Good work defensively by Capella.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. Let's go to the 2K leaderboard and see which teams have been the NBA's best in the rebounding department. 5th on the list, the Pistons.
You know, it's not necessarily a glamour stat, but make no mistake, their top-notch board work has been a huge key to their success.
He gets that one. Now just a 1-point Piston lead.
Look out. He's starting to find the range in this second period.
Griffin sets the screen for Jackson. Down low over Paul. And that one hits back iron. Houston's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. In the corner, Harden. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 3 assists now in this one.
I love it. Oh, wow.
Watch your head.
That's a beautiful jam.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson. Staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
Screen by Capella. Here's the screen. Feeds to Harden. Ariza outside. Back to Harden. Paul with the ball. Guarded now by Jackson. Harden, no good. Pass to Kennard. He dishes it to Griffin. To the left side wing. Kennard, the pass to Drummond. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Lob pass to Capella. Great communication on the alley-oop.
Chris does a remarkable job of getting his teammates involved.
Drummond a screen. Jackson passes to Kennard. Jackson against Paul. It's stolen by Capella. And here comes Ariza, leading the fast break. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Well, Steve, when you think about leaders and players who mean as much for the mental game of their team as their coach, you know, Chris Paul right at the top of that list. He has always been a vocal floor general his whole career.
You're totally right. Paul is very aware of everything that is going on in a game. Can get in the teammate's face if they have a mental lapse. Not always an easy pill to swallow, but all players respect Chris Paul's leadership.
And again, it's the Pistons missing. Houston's gone 7 of 15 from 3-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot.
Look at the big fella working on that possession. He knows how to fend guys off and get those rebounds.
Here's Griffin. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Griffin's got 15.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
It's Harden with the drive, and it's sent back by Drummond.
And you can see it in terms of protecting the rim. Drummond has the ability. He just needs to stay active on a consistent basis.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Yep, it goes. And the Piston lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from James Harden.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
Detroit's gone for the 3-pointer 7 times here in the second and been successful 3 times. Dishes it to Jackson. Drummond sets the screen for Jackson. To the inside. It's stolen by Capella. Jackson against Paul. He kicks it to Harden. A 3 from Anderson. Rebound, Detroit. Drummond's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Jackson drives in, makes it off the glass. He's got 10.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Harden gets the bucket.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Now here's Jackson. He's coming off a 22-point game against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
And no one on defense could stay in front of him. He continually got pummeled and kept getting back to the stripe.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Griffin. Nice fake there to create the shot, but it's no good. Blake Griffin getting it done for the Detroit Pistons. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
James, big first half for you. What was the most important thing that got you going?
Just trying to be aggressive, trying to get out early and give a little spark to my teammates. You know, and they followed along. So, you know, it's just a matter of us not turning the ball over and getting stops.
So far, so good. Thanks, James. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson alongside the Jet. That's Kenny Smith. The Diesel, that's Shaquille O'Neal. A lot of big-time action so far in this one. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He ended up with 17 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, they've been rewarded for dumping the ball inside, keeping the defense honest. You have to mix it up. A little bit outside, a little bit inside. Now that separates teams.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
Well, you want to try to hold your opponent under 50% shooting. That has not happened. Defensively, they're allowing way too many good looks. They need to do a better job of shutting down the lane, as well as closing out on shooters.
And now, folks, just moments away from the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back to the Palace at Auburn Hills. That's a look at the Renaissance Center, which dominates the skyline in downtown Detroit. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. You look at Blake Griffin in this game. He's been everywhere.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, you like to run more doubles at him, but the risk there is opens up things for everybody else.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Reggie Jackson out there with Kennard. Then it's Johnson. Then there's Andre Drummond. And it's Griffin in at the power forward. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy. Rockets trail. Over in the corner, Paul. And that misses. That would have put him up. Paul's gone 2 of 7 from the floor here. Paul against Jackson. Griffin sets the screen for Jackson. Johnson, a wide open look. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got his 3rd assist on the night. Pass to Harden. Lets it go from 11. That's good on the jump shot. Harden's got 19 points.
Yeah, they're having a tough time containing Harden here tonight. No surprise there.
Kennard, the pass to Griffin. Over to the wing. Here's Kennard. Drills the baseline jumper. And the Pistons lead by 5.
That's a shot he shouldn't be afraid to take more often.
Paul dishes to Capella. They set the pick. Fires the 3. And Harden with the basket on the assist from Capella. And it's now 22 points for James Harden. Johnson the screen. Outside Jackson. Griffin kicks to Jackson. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession. And we take a look here at the shot chart for Houston.
And what a big-time game we've seen from him. He's been the one looking to create and get a shot each trip down the floor. Every time a shot falls, his confidence just grows and grows. Just an all-around tremendous offensive showing.
Rockets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop.
Great job preventing that ball from coming into the post. Might have been an easy 2 if the defense wasn't there.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Chris Paul picks up that one. And there are a few players in the NBA who can match Reggie Jackson with the fearless approach he takes to the game. He'll always look to take that big shot, Steve, and goes right at bigger defenders and doesn't blink.
When you're Jackson's size, you have to have that mentality. Always looking for a way to attack a defense. Doesn't always work out, but the aggression he plays with never dies.
And he makes the first.
You know, he was the 24th pick in 2011. I think it's safe for us to say Jackson's outplayed that draft slot.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Every NBA player, Steve, believes in themselves, but some take it to the extreme. When they're on, they're on. When they're off and cold, they just kind of lose interest, it seems. Which players do you think have this irrational confidence, if you want to call it that?
I think J.R. Smith, every shot, any shot, anywhere he feels is going in, and he will still take shots. He has amnesia. He could be 0 for 10 and keep shooting the basketball. Jamal Crawford is another guy. Those guys, they keep firing. Damian Lillard, they will keep shooting because they feel the next shot is going in.
Here's Harden. And it's Griffin with the rebound.
And guys, there's a lot to like here defensively. That shot almost ends up in the stands.
And he was not quite in position to block the shot, but the result is all the same.
And it's Ariza in the corner. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got 4 assists in the game. The Pistons leading. Here's Kennard. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Harden outside. Up and in on the layup. Harden's got 7 points for the quarter.
And Harden's such a creative scorer, especially when he gets in close to the basket.
Jackson passes to Griffin. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. Griffin's got 19 points. And not even 3/4 out of the way. So many lead changes.
The fans, guys, are getting their money's worth. Heck, I should have paid to watch this one. It's been a nail biter.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Blake Griffin really making a difference here.
I mean, he continues to burn them with his scoring. The coaching staff's going to have to come up with a different approach defensively.
Both teams will make substitutions.
And let's review some numbers for Drummond. 3rd in rebounding, 5th in blocks, and he's in the top 10 in field goal percentage. Really able to power his way to the bucket and finish through contact.
And as you said, one of the league's top 3 rebounders. He has an instinct for how the shot's going to come off that rim. That's special. And the want-to corral it. Now Smith. He averages about 5 points a game. Harden grabs the miss. Harden's got his 5th rebound in this one. And Harden with the stuff.
And I just love how aggressive Harden is inside. When he's deep like that, he is ready to finish with authority.
Smith kicks to Tolliver. The Pistons working the ball around now. Here's Galloway, guarded by Green. Galloway dishes to Drummond. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Smith. The Rockets pull it in. Green's got 4 rebounds in this game. Launches the 3. Detroit with the rebound. Smith with it. Out to the wing. Here's Galloway, guarded by Harden. Tolliver kicks to Smith. Here's Drummond. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time.
In attack mode inside, the best of Drummond comes out when he's being decisive.
Houston's gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. To the paint, tips it up.
And it's been an exciting game. Both teams really fighting this one out.
Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Smith on the wing, defended by Paul. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up.
The defense slow to react that time. Smith makes them pay using his quickness.
For Detroit, they have gone 5 of 7 from the free throw line in the game. Gordon's checked in for Paul.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw dropped for Smith. For Houston, they've gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the 3rd quarter. Here is Mbamute. Off target from 3-point range. Pistons shooting 48% from the field. Not bad at all. Smith outside. He feeds it to Galloway. Drummond a screen. Galloway with the bucket. Galloway has got 5 points so far.
You know, when you see a Stan Van Gundy team, you know that defense will be a key for them. He has handpicked his players here in Detroit. It's one of Van Gundy's trademarks, as well as what the Pistons franchise has been known for.
Harden the pass to Green. Here is Mbamute. They grab their own miss. And slam dunk by Nene.
And putting in the work on the boards, and it's paying off with chances like that.
And Gia, he does put in the work. You're right. It's why he's on the finishing end of one putback slam after another.
He just never gives up on any play, any shot. He's always battling in the paint. He's one of the best at that position.
John Lure, he's checked in for Detroit. James Ennis comes in for Stanley Johnson. And a switch here also for Houston. Johnson, he's checked in for James Harden. And Smitty, you actually played under Stan Van Gundy when you were with the Heat. What was it like playing for him as a coach?
Well, he demands a lot from you, but he's fair. He's a great X and O coach. But the one thing about Stan you have to get used to is all the screaming.
Galloway with the bucket.
Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
Rockets trail by 4. And here's Gordon. Outside, Green. Nene, the screen. Green, no luck. Detroit leading by 4. The dish to Ennis. There's the feed to Lure. It's blocked. And it's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. So it's Detroit now. They get it again. Here's Tolliver. They had a number of cracks at it, but came away empty-handed. Unloads. Kept alive by Houston. Shot by Gordon, wide open. No good on the 3.
Trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far, not working.
You know what? At some point, you have to decide. Do you keep pressing the issue, or do you focus on setting up others?
And Smitty, would you ever be interested in joining a team as a general manager or a personnel guy in a front office in the league?
I would, Kevin. I mean, I love everything about the game of basketball, and obviously played it, been in broadcasting. But a GM role is something I've always talked about, coaching, front office, whatever it may be. I'll be happy because I'm in the game of basketball. And then, Kevin, if I get that job, are you coming with me?
I'm always with you, by your side and ready to go. But let me ask you, when you were playing, Steve, did you consciously think, hey, someday I might be a coach, or I'd like to sit up in the stands and evaluate talent? Does it go through your mind in the throes in the middle of your career?
Yes, it does. And a lot of the guys, I would say my mentors, one was Lenny Wilkins. He did a fantastic job. Player coach at one time. I've talked a lot to him. My wife and Joe Dumar's wife are sisters, so me and Joe have a close relationship. Pat Riley, I picked the brains of the best, and hopefully one day I'll get that chance, and hopefully I'll make that move. But right now, I'm loving what I'm doing.
So he comes up empty at the line. Look from Green. Basket is good. The assist from Johnson. Green's got 4 points now in the quarter. The Pistons leading. And it's Smith penetrating. Fires at the elbow. And Lure gets it to go.
Yeah, that's one of his specialties, just squaring up from medium range.
Yeah, he has the height to shoot over most any defender and the touch to make it with consistency.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Nene. Right now, let's check out the teams with the best free throw percentage. In third, the Rockets.
You know, it's really a team-wide talent. You want to foul to stop layups, but against them, you're not saving much. They'll make you pay time and again.
Pistons leading by 4. Smith outside. Pass to Galloway. There's the screen. Smith outside, expanding his range. That shot no good. The Rockets go the other way with it.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Gordon kicks to Johnson. The pass to Nene. Just 4 to shoot. And Baamute can't get it to go. Detroit's gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. Ennis dishes to Lure. And finished off by Lure.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
If you aren't going to at least step in front of him, you can't be surprised when he throws it down like that.
Nene, the screen. And it's Gordon penetrating over Smith. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
I'll tell you, he just hasn't been able to get it done on the offensive end. It's kind of dragged down the team.
Galloway, the pass to Ennis. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Rockets trail by 6. There's Green with the 3. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
There's Galloway. 8 points for him. Sinks the 3-pointer. Ennis has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
A good screen made all the difference. It led to an open look.
Gordon kicks to Green. Houston moving the ball around. Gordon with it. Now Smith defending. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations for Griffin.
And this is a grown man shot chart right here. Not too much going on outside, but look at how things are for them in the paint. They are attacking the rim and not settling for the jump shot. And right now it's paying off in bunches. If I'm them, then I'd continue to do the same thing going forward until an adjustment is made.
And there's a minute 45 left in the 3rd.
You know, he really is forcing it right now. This has been a frustrating night for him.
Smith dishes to Lure, and it's blocked. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Gordon's running over Smith. Again, the miss by Gordon.
He can't get anything to fall this quarter, and obviously that's dragging the whole team down.
There's the pick. Ennis passes to Tolliver. And Lure kicks to Galloway. And another three for Detroit.
Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
You know, for the most part, their perimeter D is holding up, but they might have to sacrifice some of that to close down the lane.
Houston making some changes. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Anderson comes in for Mbaamuta. And Trevor Ariza is subbed in for Gerald Green. Gordon kicks to Ariza. Feeds it to Johnson. Anderson the screen. It's good, and the Piston lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Johnson.
You've got to give a ton of credit to the screener. That play easily opened up the easy layup for his teammate.
Jackson kicks to Griffin. Over Anderson. That shot by Griffin, no good. The Rockets shooting 43% for the game. Gordon for 3. Offensive rebound. No good that time. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Outside Jackson. Kicks it to Lure. Here's Kennard. Just 5 on the clock. Over Johnson. Kennard's shot is off.
One could argue that's a good shot, but maybe not the right shooter to take it.
And so it's the Detroit Pistons in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And now let's take a listen to Stan Van Gundy on a recent huddle.
Just relax and play the game. Relax and play the game. Relax and play the game.
In case they forgot that, of course, from very invigorating words from Stan Van Gundy, repeating what he'd like to see more of them right now.
Yeah, and I think Coach feels they're getting too caught up in things that don't matter. Resetting their mindsets here. Let's see if it helps.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play getting started. Fourth quarter on the court for the Rockets. Ariza and Anderson holding down the forward spots. Gordon out there with Johnson. And it's Capella in at the 5 down low.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops. Houston making a switch here. Paul's checked in. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Rockets trail by 10. Outside Gordon. Pass to Paul. Anderson the screen. Launches a 3. Griffin grabs the board. Griffin's got his 6th rebound on the night. Jackson against Paul. They set the pick. Pick by Griffin. Jackson kicks to Lure. Back to Jackson. Fires for 3. Rockets with the rebound. Anderson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Paul with the ball. Guarded now by Jackson.
Still trying to shoot his way out of this funk. But if it doesn't come within the flow of the offense, the whole team suffers.
It's good. The assist that time for Ennis. 14 points for Reggie Jackson.
The defense having to respect Jackson's outside game. That opened up things for him in the inside.
Paul kicks to Ariza. And Anderson has it in the corner. Drills it from outside.
If the defense is going to keep giving him those shots, you know he has the confidence to knock them down.
Pistons leading by 9. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Jackson dishes to Griffin. Back to Jackson. Rebounded by Capella.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. So for the Pistons, Andre Drummond comes in for John Lewis. And it's Johnson in for James Ennis. And a switch here also for Houston. Harden's checked in. The Pistons have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Over Anderson. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
Wow, he had it at point-blank range, but the defense was all over him.
Rockets trail by 9. Paul outside. Rebound Andre Drummond. Pistons shooting at 46%, making some buckets. Griffin passes to Drummond. Count the basket. And the Pistons lead by 11.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
Do you see the frame on Andre Drummond? Easy for me to see why he can shed off so many defenders inside. He's incredibly strong. Hard to stop when he gets near the rim.
And the strength of Andre Drummond, you talked about it, Steve, it's not just upper body, but lower body as well. He can open up a lot of space if he gets the ball down low.
You know, once he gets it in the paint, there's nothing you can do. His footwork off the block is coming along well. It's a process for him to refine his moves.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, during that break, Mike D'Antoni talked to his team. He was begging them to step it up. He said, we've got to make the move now, or we're going to be out of time and out of luck. Give it everything you've got out there. Kevin?
Jackson has the open look. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Griffin's got his 3rd assist on the night. Ariza outside. Up top, Capella. The 3 from Harden. The Rockets with another miss.
I don't know what's happened to him in this second half, but he's been terrible from deep.
And Capella sends it back. Paul kicks to Harden. He drains the quick shot. Harden's got 28 points for the game.
I love seeing Harden stroke it from there. One of the most lethal shooters we have in the game.
Griffin against Anderson. Griffin's shot is off. Rockets trail by 12.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. Detroit leading by 12. Griffin sets the screen for Jackson. Stolen by Harden. And it's Ariza in the corner. And a miss there on the triple.
He's being aggressive, trying to turn around the team's fortunes, but he's having a hard time executing.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
And watching James Harden, the amount of shots he is able to create for himself and his teammates, he just does so much from his position that is unrivaled. One of the greatest offensive threats, not only today, but really of the last decade.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Jackson. And for Harden, he's been in the conversation, Greg, for MVP for several years. The way he's able to just carry an offense with his creativity garners attention.
And Kevin, I think he might have won it last year if it wasn't for the amazing season put in by Russell Westbrook. Don't count Harden out, though. He's such a unique talent on offense. Maybe this will be his year to bring home that MVP award.
Well, the league has long had a rookie orientation program. People rave about it. It continues to develop and evolve. More recently, Steve, they've created a program for players transitioning to retirement. This is an outstanding idea. What's important with that in your eyes?
I'm glad you brought that up, Kevin. I think the rookie orientation should even start even earlier. I think it should start at the college level. Not saying that everybody's going to make it to the NBA, but it helps you what they give you just in the game of life. And then transitioning to retirement, I think it should be the first day you sign that NBA contract, the transition should start, because it could end with an injury. And obviously we know even if you play a lengthy career, in 10 or 12 years is over.
Like if you were going to talk to a young player and if the player said, Steve, give me one thing that I need to remember as I go through my career and then it ends, what's the one piece of advice you would feed to a young player about what's going to be at the end of this journey?
Well, I think, first of all, there's a couple things, Kevin, and I have to answer. First, you got to keep your value system. Second, financially, you got to understand is make it simple as possible. You're not going to be able to live on the same type of salary for the rest of your life. So if you have a contract, say $20 million, in a simple way, divide that up for like 50 years, because that's how much you're going to need to be able to live off on.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
Anderson the screen. Harden, no good.
He's just gone stone cold this period, and it's bringing the rest of the team down.
Here's Kennard. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Kennard's got 9 points here in the second half. Ball against Jackson. Shot to stop the run. Chris Paul, and that's good.
First 3 of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Pistons leading by 16. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Stolen by Anderson. Johnson from outside. And it's James Harden with the rebound. Harden's got 6 rebounds in the game.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
And he's good on the 3-ball.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Left side, Griffin. He tries for 3. They get it back. Second shot opportunity, and it's Drummond missing.
You can see the frustration. They hold the lead, but he wants to be able to contribute.
Here's Capella, and the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
His combination of energy and anticipation showing up on the offensive glass.
Detroit leading by 10. Now here's Jackson. Griffin a screen on Paul. Jackson drives in. A shot by Griffin. Nobody around. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 4 assists in the game. Here's Harden. Capella. Rebound by the Pistons. To the middle, stolen by Anderson. Harden outside. He dishes it to Paul. A 3-pointer off the mark. Detroit's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Passes it to Kennard. Takes a 3. Another 3 for Detroit.
Unselfish play by Blake Griffin, screening for his teammates to get them open.
Harden outside. Anderson with the screen for Harden. And Anderson has it in the corner. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Detroit leading by 16. Pistons passing it around. Stolen by Harden. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. And Chris Paul the bucket on the assist by Harden. Harden's got his 7th assist here tonight.
And they definitely have the edge in those fast break points.
They can't be afraid to keep pushing the basketball in transition, because in a half-court set, they're struggling a little bit.
Jackson dishes to Johnson. Shot clock at 6. And there's another one for the Pistons.
Griffin is one of the best scorers in the game, so now you see him going well. Get him the basketball.
Screen by Capella. Harden kicks to Ariza. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
Yeah, that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
And the Pistons with possession here. It's a 13-point game. Dishes it to Jackson. He kicks to Drummond. Outside Griffin. On the wing, Johnson. Over Ariza. Johnson can't get it to go. Rockets trail by 13. Paul passes to Capella. They set the pick. Harden dishes to Paul. Again, the miss by Paul. Detroit's gotten 3 of their 6 three-pointers to fall here in the 4th. Here's Jackson. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. And that's 21 points for Reggie Jackson.
And you're seeing it with Jackson tonight. When he gets in a real rhythm, man, he can light up the scoreboard.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Blake Griffin really making a difference here.
The man has been relentless scoring inside, attacking the rim every chance he gets. Their defense has been powerless to stop him. We'll see what adjustments they make coming out of this timeout.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Blake Griffin.
Plain and simple, his scoring is what made him our pick tonight. Even when the D's giving him all their attention, they just have not been able to contain him. If they backed off him for 1 second, he made them pay.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Paul is doubled. Harden outside. Paul against Jackson. 6 to shoot. Jackson against Paul. No dice from the high post.
An uncontested look from mid-range. He typically drains that one.
It's Jackson with the drive. Lays it up and banks it in. Jackson's got 13 points in the second half.
I'll tell you, Jackson's first step is dynamite. A big asset off the dribble.
Paul kicks to Anderson. It's Ariza on the wing. He's guarded by Johnson. Ariza with the bucket.
Excellent play call there. The defense was not prepared for the pick, and as a result, they gave up the wide open look.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. No good on the shot. Good work defensively by Capella. Ariza against Johnson. Harden right side. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Well, in the last half-decade or so, the NBA, Steve, has realized the true value of the corner 3, and now offenses all over the league are designed to take advantage of it. Part of that is because it's just closer to the rim than any other three-pointer.
Yeah, you're right, and you should. I mean,
When you have a three-point arc, yes, the corner threes are going to be shorter, and it's harder from a guy to shoot it from straight on. But when you have a guy that can shoot it straight on, you can see the dynamics of a team defensively. It's hard to cover. But I don't think the NBA should widen the court because of the value of the corner three. That's a part of the game.
Should the lane be widened? Should we talk about the court and making all the threes the same length? What about the lane?
Well, I think you can widen the lane if you change the defensive rules, because right now you're allowed to play zone. If you went back to man-to-man, yes, I think you should widen it. But when teams are allowed to play zone, I think the value of keeping it the same helps the defense a little bit more.
And both free throws good for James Harden.
And the southpaw stroke of Harden is just beautiful to watch. When he's cooking, he's one of the more lethal scorers in our league.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness, as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Detroit.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight they had both.
Yeah, and listen, you only get the assist if the guy you give it to makes the shot. So a lot of assists will up your field goal percentage, but this is a great team effort by everyone.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance. It was a big-time outing for Blake Griffin.
Every inch of the floor was his tonight as he came out and injected an energy into every play.
Off the screen, they get the rebound, and it's good, 2 points.
Second chance opportunities, the great equalizer.
So it's the Pistons now. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Jackson with it. He's picked up by Paul. Shot from 12. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
Well, this is less about winning the game now and more about making a bold statement.
And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you very much, Blake. Another good night of work offensively. How does the team build on this?
Just keep that rhythm. You know, we're not always going to hit shots every night. Some nights the shots aren't going to fall. So just keeping that rhythm, keeping the ball moving, talking on defense, and relying on each other.
Congrats on a great win, Blake. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.